betrayed by blood the family secret that led to a deadly crime. Nestled within miles of picturesque farmland and quiet suburban homes, the town of Maple Grove, Pennsylvania, had always been the definition of serene. Known for its welcoming community and annual apple festival, no one ever imagined this quiet corner of the world would harbor secrets dark enough to unravel a family and shock a community. On a chilled autumn morning in October 2016, Maple Grove's sense of security was shattered forever. Emily Thatcher, a beloved high school English teacher, was known throughout Maple Grove as a compassionate figure, always ready to lend an ear to students and colleagues alike. With gentle green eyes and an infectious laugh, Emily radiated warmth and kindness wherever she went. At 38, she appeared to live the picture-perfect life, a fulfilling career, a charming suburban home, and a seemingly happy marriage to her husband Derek and two young children, Mia and Lucas. Yet, beneath the idyllic facade, Emily silently carried the heavy burden of a dark family secret, a secret that would tragically cost her life. On the morning of October 10th, Emily failed to show up for work, immediately triggering concern among colleagues who knew her punctuality and dedication. Several unanswered calls prompted the school principal, Linda Carter, to contact Derek Thatcher. Derek, away on a business trip, quickly alerted Emily's sister Laura, who rushed to check on Emily. Laura arrived at the Thatcher home to find the front door unlocked. Calling out Emily's name, she received no reply. Her heart sank as she approached the kitchen. The sight that awaited Laura froze her to the core. Emily lay lifeless on the kitchen floor, her blood pooling beneath her, a shattered glass nearby, and clear signs of a violent struggle. Laura frantically called 911, her voice breaking with shock and anguish. Soon, Maple Grove was swarmed with police cars, ambulances, and investigators, their lights harshly illuminating the once peaceful home. Detective Patrick Warren, an experienced investigator with over 20 years on the force, immediately took control of the investigation. Warren methodically surveyed the crime scene, noting signs of forced entry at the rear entrance. The living room was disturbed as if Emily had confronted her attacker, a framed family photograph lying shattered amidst broken furniture. Forensics determined Emily's cause of death as blunt force trauma to the head, indicating an intensely personal confrontation rather than a random act of violence. This finding immediately directed suspicion toward people close to Emily. Detectives first looked into Derek Thatcher, the victim's husband. Though Derek appeared genuinely distraught upon hearing the news, his sudden business trip raised eyebrows. Digging deeper, investigators uncovered text messages revealing tension between Derek and Emily in the weeks leading up to her death, fueled by suspected infidelity and financial pressures. Further investigation uncovered the Thatcher family's precarious finances. Debts mounting and escalating arguments about money. Derek vehemently denied any involvement, stating he loved his wife deeply despite their difficulties. Flight records and hotel surveillance footage ultimately confirmed Derek's alibi, placing him hundreds of miles away at the time of the murder. Attention quickly shifted to Emily's sister Laura. Friends revealed occasional resentment from Laura toward Emily's seemingly perfect life. Detectives considered jealousy as a potential motive. Yet, Laura's alibi proved airtight. She was teaching an art class at the local community center at the time of Emily's murder, corroborated by numerous eyewitnesses. With immediate family members seemingly cleared, Detective Warren was left questioning who else could possibly hold enough animosity toward Emily to end her life in such a brutal manner. The investigation took a dramatic turn when Warren uncovered a hidden chapter in Emily's life. Interviews with close friends revealed that Emily recently discovered she had been adopted as a baby, something her adoptive parents, who passed away several years prior, never disclosed. Shocked and hurt by this revelation, Emily privately began searching for her biological family. Through DNA genealogy testing, Emily had recently managed to contact her biological mother, a woman named Margaret Simmons, who lived just 2 towns away. However, Margaret refused all contact, clearly unsettled by Emily's sudden appearance in her life. Detective Warren knew instinctively this revelation held significance. Further digging revealed Margaret Simmons had another child, Jonathan Simmons, who lived only 15 miles from Maple Grove. Unlike Margaret, Jonathan eagerly agreed to meet Emily. Their initial meeting reportedly went well, but within days, the relationship soured inexplicably. Investigators turned their sights toward Jonathan Simmons. Jonathan, 41, had struggled with a criminal past, including charges of assault and robbery. Friends described him as volatile, harboring years of resentment toward his mother for various family dysfunctions. When confronted, Jonathan openly admitted meeting Emily but insisted he'd reacted positively, viewing their connection as a chance for redemption. However, Jonathan's phone records painted a different story. Angry texts and voicemails from Jonathan revealed his frustration at Emily, accusing her of ruining his family again. Jonathan's fingerprints were found in Emily's home, and neighbors reported seeing his truck parked suspiciously nearby the evening before Emily's body was discovered. Faced with mounting evidence, Jonathan was arrested and charged with Emily's murder. Yet, he passionately maintained his innocence, claiming someone framed him. Maple Grove reeled from shock and disbelief, divided between grief for Emily and outrage at Jonathan. Social media buzzed with speculation, rumors swirled through local cafes, and lifelong friends openly questioned their understanding of the families involved. Emily's students, devastated by their teacher's sudden violent death, organized a candlelight vigil, poignantly memorializing her legacy. Jonathan's arrest, however, split opinions. Some were convinced of his guilt due to past crimes, others questioned whether he had been scapegoated too easily, pointing to the complexity of family dynamics. As Jonathan awaited trial, another revelation stunned Maple Grove. Margaret Simmons suddenly came forward, burdened by guilt and grief. Margaret revealed to investigators that she had secretly reached out to Emily days before her murder, warning her to stay away from Jonathan. Margaret confessed her fears. Jonathan harbored deep-seated resentment, blaming his biological sister's return for the renewed pain and turmoil in their dysfunctional family. Margaret's revelation initially seemed damning evidence against Jonathan, yet investigators noticed inconsistencies and strange hesitations during Margaret's interviews. Eventually, Margaret admitted that she had visited Emily personally the night before the murder, something previously concealed. She insisted it was merely to plead with Emily to stop contacting Jonathan, but detectives wondered if Margaret was hiding more than she claimed. With Margaret's contradictory statements and Jonathan's adamant denials, the case descended into uncertainty. Was Jonathan genuinely guilty, driven by jealousy and resentment toward a sister he barely knew? Or was he being framed by a mother desperate to protect a dark past at any cost? Others speculated Derek might still be involved. Did he secretly hire someone to commit murder, taking advantage of his convenient alibi? Some theorized Laura, despite her apparent innocence, could have colluded with Margaret, jealous of Emily's picture-perfect life. Nearly a decade later, the murder of Emily Thatcher remains unsolved. Jonathan Simmons remains imprisoned, awaiting a trial repeatedly delayed due to inconclusive evidence. Margaret Simmons retreated into isolation, while Derek and Laura moved away, trying to rebuild their shattered lives. Maple Grove continues grieving, haunted by unanswered questions. The whispers remain, leaving residents questioning whom they could trust. Emily Thatcher's tragic murder reveals how deeply secrets can wound, destroy families, and fracture communities. The stark truth remains hidden, eluding justice and closure. For the residents of Maple Grove and all who follow this haunting tale, lingering questions endure. In a case so steeped in deception and concealed pain, perhaps the hardest truth remains realizing the chilling potential hidden within those closest to us. Betrayal by blood. Was Jonathan genuinely guilty, driven by jealousy and resentment toward a sister he barely knew? Or was he being framed by a mother desperate to protect a dark past at any cost? Drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you think about this story. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you found this story shocking, there's more where that came from. We'll be covering more true crime cases that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Until next time, stay safe and stay curious. We'll see you again soon here on Unsolved Case Vault.